HaMelech Yoshev al Kisei Ram v'Nisa. The king, the sovereign one, presiding on your lofty and exalted throne. This grand presentation is from the Rosh Hashanah prayers. It's part of the special focus on Malchuyot, on God's sovereignty. For most of my life, I've had a problem with the idea, the metaphor of Melech, king. This is true on the high holidays. It's also in the blessing formula we use all the time. Baruch atah, blessed are you, Eloheinu melech haolam, our God, King of the universe. For me, there are so many other metaphors for God that help for me to enter into vital and living engagement with the divine. They work so much better than king. I think this is in part because I am a child of American democracy. I grew up in New England, where we spent most of every school year in American history class focused on the colonies and their revolt from the British monarchy. Out with the king, in with the government, by the people, for the people. I have been inspired by a practice that is very prevalent in the Reconstructionist movement, not using melech and substituting ruach, spirit that animates the universe and all that is within it. So Rosh Hashanah's focus on kingship has long been something that requires me to reconstruct and reinterpret. Except this year. This year's different. This year, as a child of democracy, I really resonate with the idea of God as sovereign, as ruler, as ultimate authority. I want to be clear. I don't believe in a personal God, so I'm not picturing an old man with a long white beard sitting on a throne, just the same way I'm not picturing that same old man presiding as a judge writing me or you into the book of life and death. I am thinking about God's malchut, God's sovereignty as the source of moral authority in the universe, to which we are all ultimately accountable. I'm thinking about God's sovereignty as necessary acknowledgement of the limits of human understanding and on human behavior. I'm thinking about God's sovereignty as a bulwark against radical individualism that can descend into nihilism. I'm thinking about a God with whom we can enter into horizontal covenant and then make God's presence manifest in how we treat each other. I come to this understanding in part through a story my teacher and friend, Rabbi Nancy Fuchs Kramer, shared with me. It comes out of her multi-faith work. She teaches about German Christians in the 1930s who fought the rise of Nazism in their country and in their churches. We all know Hitler insisted on being called Mein Führer, which we would translate as my leader or dear leader. 2 days after Hitler was elected in 1933, German Christian theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer declared on German radio that leaders and offices which set themselves up as gods, small g, they mock God, big G. Bonhoeffer, along with Martin Niemöller and other colleagues, ultimately formed the Confessing Church. And in 1934, they declared that there can be no special leader. In their view, leaders were, in the collective, ministers who aimed to serve God and the members of the community rather than to dominate them. Reconstructionism is always an effort to infuse religion into the breath of our contemporary lives so that the rich Jewish legacy of wisdom and practice can be a resource to help us find meaning and purpose. Mordecai Kaplan, the founding thinker of Reconstructionism, believed that democracy was the next great stage of human development. He thought it emerged from and then pointed us back toward the divine, and that it should be harmonized with religion. 30 plus years ago, I stepped back from Melech because to me it felt archaic and painfully undemocratic. Today, Acknowledging God's sovereignty feels to me like a critical tool in the defense of democracy against autocracy, against authoritarianism instituted by human leaders. It's a way of asserting my highest values through dearly held Jewish teaching. It's a way of lifting my spirits and strengthening my spine, of seeing clearly how the world is and what needs to be done so that it is what it can be. This high holiday season, may we all find ways to locate ourselves in the universe, to remember with humility our minuteness and also our vast capacity to act. May we together bring forth the reality of Melech HaOlam, God as sovereign of the universe, through the fostering of democratic communities that reflect God's presence and God's goodness in every interaction. Shana Tova u'Mituka, a sweet and a happy and a healthy New Year.